Hello, Nistas and Nistos. How are you today? Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I'm SavingsFashionista, and over here we do mainly things fragrance, and today we are here to talk fragrance. So I want to share with you my full in-depth review on one of the most popular fragrances this season, and it is Miami Nectar by Ellis Brooklyn. So if you're interested in hearing what I have to say about it, please stay tuned. All right, Nistas, so the conversation of today is Miami Nectar. Miami Nectar was released this year, 2024, and it has gotten a lot of hype in the fragrance community. And I do understand the hype. I honestly totally get it. This was a blind buy for me because my local Sephora did not have it in store, and I was just really tired of them telling me they didn't have it and me waiting to get it in. So I just said, okay. I just went ahead, and instead of me getting the 10 mil size, I did my big one and I got the 50 mil. So the fragrance is Miami Nectar, and the packaging is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the blue, look at the Tiffany blue. Absolutely, they could have not picked a better color. And the fragrance is a unisex fragrance. It's labeled as unisex, but I do think that it could be a little bit more feminine in the opening, and then it develops into something more unisex in my opinion. But this is a fruity solar gourmand type of fragrance, and as you can see, I have really been giving it a lot of love. I think I only decanted it once, so I've really been showing this some love. Miami Nectar has been one of my easy, don't have to think about it, go-to fragrances for this season. This fragrance retails, this size is a 50 ml, and it retails for $110. You can get it at Sephora or from the Ellis Brooklyn website. And they have a 10 ml, which is the long tube, the little long slender bottle. It's a 10 ml, and it retails for $33. So yes, she's been all over the community. She is on a tour summer 2024, and I am really enjoying her. So let's talk about the fragrance notes. The fragrance notes in Ellis Brooklyn, top notes are pink, pineapple, palm leaves, coconut water. The heart notes are wild jasmine, plumeria, lily of the valley. And the base dry down notes are tree moss, salted woods, sweet amber, and vanilla. All right, so in my dedicated reviews, I try to give you an idea of what season the fragrance should be worn in, the longevity of the fragrance, the projection. And when I say projection, my definition of projection is how long can I idly sit and smell this fragrance without having to make a skin to nose or skin to clothes connection, and the versatility of the fragrance. So the season that I think the fragrance should be worn in, that I feel the fragrance is most befitting in, is summer and spring, depending on your climate in the region that you live in, how cool or hot it is in your spring, because sometimes here where I live it can get very hot during the spring months. So summer and spring is definitely the seasons that I feel that the fragrance should be worn in. The longevity of this fragrance, you guys, honestly, as good as the fragrance is, the fragrance does it's not a long lasting fragrance in my opinion. I get about 4 to 6 hours with layering. But when I wore the fragrance in isolation through trial and error, because I don't just, it's rarely never that I wear a fragrance with no barrier or no layering. That's hardly ever, never. But I have been playing around with it just to see. So you might get about 2 hours if you wear it just, in isolation. Honestly, I can't say that it's a major disappointment or a deal breaker for me, because I do feel that this is one of those fragrances that's not intended to be a nuclear high throwing fragrance. I do feel that it is a summertime skin scent that starts off fruity and sweet. That's just my opinion. So without layering this fragrance, you may get you 2 hours, maybe 2 hours. It's not long lasting. Now, as far as projection, with or without layering, it's an hour or less. I have to like sniff, or if husband is relatively close to me, he may say that you smell nice, but it's not a high projecting type of fragrance. And I honestly don't think that it was designed to perform that way. So when I initially apply this fragrance, it does start off very sweety and aquatic. It has this sweet wateriness to it, which is to be expected if it's like a tropical type of fragrance with the pineapples and the coconut water. So it develops into something solar on my skin. It becomes a skin scent as it develops, and it becomes very solar, like a woody solar fragrance. So the performance of the fragrance, if you're one of those girls that have to have this nuclear powerhouse fragrance, you're not going to get that with Miami Nectar. So like I said, it is not a deal breaker for me. But by the end of the night, what I smell in this fragrance is probably the salts from my skin and the solar accents that are in the fragrance. I can really smell it. I can still smell the fragrance once the fragrance has dried down completely, but this is definitely one of those fragrances that if you want to continue to smell the goodness that it provides when you initially spray it, you're gonna have to make your decant or get you a travel size to carry with you, because you're not gonna get that powerhouse Delina or Hibiscus Mahajad type of performance. It's not that type of fragrance at all. The versatility of this fragrance, I do think that this could be a unisex fragrance if the gentlemen don't mind a little sweetness on initial spray, because initially, like I say, you get in tons of coconut water and the pink pineapple, but once it starts to develop and it dries down, it does become this woody, solar, salty type of fragrance that is very unisex in my opinion. This is definitely a vacation type of fragrance. If you're going on a local or an abroad vacation, this is definitely that type of vacation fragrance. I do think that this is great for poolside. When I swim, I do put fragrance on because sometimes I don't even get in the pool. So this is definitely one of those poolside type of fragrance. And I do think that it is more for summer daytime, in my opinion. And if you wear this at night, if I wore fragrances to bed, this would easily be a fragrance that I would be comfortable with wearing to bed. So I'm definitely enjoying Miami Nectar, the pineapple and the coconut on initial. It is just so good, you guys. So if you don't mind making or fixing a decant, this is the fragrance for you. It has this sweet sexiness to it, and it is absolutely good. So the hype, I get it, but like I said, I'm not here to play with you. If you expect it to last all day, as the experience that I have had with it on my skin, I didn't get that. Now, everyone's body is different, but I don't get a very long lasting power. And that's one of the main questions that I get when I do reviews on fragrances is how long does it last, or how does it project? So I hope this has been helpful to you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you have gone in store to sample this, or if you already have it in your collection, and let me know how you feel about it. I want to thank you guys again for coming back to the channel. I greatly appreciate you, and do not forget, you, yes, you are great. Bye-bye.